All right, I'm here backstage at Rockstar Mayhem. I got Body Count. How you guys doing today?
Good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Doing excellent. It's nice to be here in Canada.
So, I want to start by talking about, the main crux of your first video, the first Body Count's first return, is talk shit and get shot. So this is my main question: is who talks shit about Body Count at this point? Like, I don't see anyone going around talk. My mom's like, oh, you're going to see that band with that nice fellow from Law and Order. My mom loves Ice. So what? I don't really hear a lot of negativity. Is it sort of just in case? Like, how do you guys feel about that?
Me personally, I thought the video was fine, but I didn't know who was talking shit. So I just came out with that song. So we had the riff going down and everything, and after that, that's what came as a result of that song.
It seems to me that Body Count instantly commands a certain level of respect, though. So it's like you guys joining the band. Was there sort of intimidation in that level, when you guys came into it?
Well, like I says, when you walk on stage, man, you got to be out. When you go out there, you got to demand respect and be the baddest motherfucker on stage. So we take that attitude with every show. And going back to the talk shit video, I mean, basically, it's that song is about internet bloggers and haters out there, people that sit home behind their keyboards and just talk shit. They have nothing better to do. They stay in their mom's basement. So it's kind of a take on that. I mean, it's just he's just the song's about mainly about that, the internet haters. It's not to be taken literally. I mean, we have fun. I mean, we have fun with this. You got to understand that. Ice refers to this as Grindhouse. It's just like a Quentin Tarantino movie, but we're doing music heavy, which is Body Count.
So, it's funny you say that sort of thing, along with you guys and Cannibal Corpse, on this kind of show. You guys do stick out a little bit with those two groups, and I know that it's really, really important for bands. A lot of heavier bands would sort of shy away from a lineup with this younger sort of demographic on it. But you guys seem to be really after going for a different kind of audience and as many different people as you possibly can. Is that the idea that other bands would claim to be more tougher than you are would discriminate against this show? You know what I mean?
We want everybody to know about us. The bottom line, you got to know the history of Body Count, so, come on, 1992, you got to go back from there all the way into now, and still stuff from back then is still happening now. None of that stuff has happened. Really, there hasn't been any band really talking about what we're talking about, right now. So that's where we're back. So we got to keep on talking about it, so.
I often feel that this particular album, Manslaughter, is one of the strongest you've had in the entire career. It's musically, actually, it could be the strongest record that you've had. And I feel in a way, it was a bit of ahead of its time, the older records at first. And I feel now people are just starting to clue in that there's funny stuff in the lyrics, and you laugh, and but it's all a reflection, of what's going on, and that's where that I think that you guys actually do bridge hip-hop really well, because it is a snapshot of what's going on in the world, and even if it is funny, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. Besides the debut Body Count album, I think this is the strongest one, Manslaughter. The lyrical content is very current. If you really take the time and listen to the lyrics and read the lyrics, there's a lot of good inside information in there on just everything. And Ice is a very smart man. He has great lyrics, great songs like Back to Rehab is one of my favorites, Bitch in the Pit. I mean, there's just a lot of talk shit, get shot. There's a lot of stuff on there, and I think the lyrics are very, very important part of music that's missing. And if you can't, here's another thing with Body Count, the enunciation, the pronunciation of the words really cut through the record. I think that's important as a listener to be able to hear and understand what's going on. So we pay attention to things like that.
It's funny that heavy metal often, whether you talk in the most stuff that's the most, I guess, not moving, but maybe political or relevant, something like Napalm Death, you have to dig through those layers, especially with guttural vocals, to find that. And so it is getting, it is having lyrics that people are, in metal it's not always important, is having lyrics and vocals that people can understand. Is that important to the band, do you think?
Yeah, very, very important. He's trying to put out a message out there and trying to have everybody understand where he's coming from. Mm-hmm. So Otherwise than that, it's just he wants people to pay attention.
Right.
Listen to what he's saying. He's talking the truth. Some of it, yeah, it is kind of funny. Especially Institutionalized.
Yeah.
2014. That was I had to laugh on that one the first time I heard the tracks on that one. So.
Yeah. Talking about being a hater a little bit, I have to admit that I had a little bit of haterade when I heard you guys were going to cover that song, because it's such a talking based song. It's not like you can just cover it. I'm like how's that going to turn out? And I will have proven wrong upon firstly how much blood is in the human body. It's absolutely ridiculous. Did you, and in all honesty, were you at all nervous about having to cover that song? And then
I thought when Body Count wanted to do the Institutionalized, I go, oh man, that's such a classic.
Yeah.
What's going to be the spin on here? And I think what the idea Ice came up with was just a genius. It's very cool, very cool. I love the lyrics. I think they're hilarious.
So, I when there's a big personality in the band like Ice, I interview fellas like you. I don't want to dwell on that, but I got to ask one question. And Ice is this guy, and I made reference to my mom. My mom loves Ice because she watches Law and Order, and gangsters love Ice because that's where he was. So I've met a lot of people in heavy metal and rap and lots of different places. So, in your opinion, where does Ice in real life fall on that spectrum? You know what I mean? Where's the real Ice fall in there? Is he because he said the first time he was recognized, he was lifting a car. You know what I mean? That as a celebrity. So that's to me is the quintessential definition of what he is. So where to you guys, where in there is he?
I can 2 words: original gangster. That's all I can say.
OG. Gotta be. He's OG.
So no matter how accepted he might get, no matter how many people's moms love him, or how many times he gets recognized, there's still that there that hasn't gone away.
No, not at all.
But first and foremost, he's a musician and a great rapper and a great frontman, and his lyrics are intense. So I think he wants to be known first and foremost as a frontman, singer, rapper, whatever, however you want to call it. His job is acting, and his love and passion is music.
Right.
That's really what it is.
So if there's one entity that has a more serious reputation than Ice, it's Body Count. Ice has his own reputation. Body Count takes it to a whole nother level with the history of the band. So, with you guys, when you guys became a part of that history, sort of a 2-part question. Number one, was there any sort of, did you take any time to have to adjust to being in Body Count? Was it sort of a change? Or number two, how on the road is how related to my Ice question, how much of it is business and how much of it is the sort of party that your fans would expect? You know what I mean?
Going with the first question, I've only been in this band since 2009. Mm-hmm. So it was an adjustment for me, just getting to know more of the history of Body Count, because I followed them all the way from 92, starting from the first record. But no, everything's still pretty much the same from what I gather from Ernie, from Ernie C. The way the format, a way they're writing their songs, going that way. I'm just glad that they just went that way to write this new record, to go that way, So, but yeah, it seems like it's more powerful going that way as everybody writing together, just getting this record out.
And then as far as what you got, people expect a certain amount of a certain type of thing from Ice on the road. Is it it's time to play, or is there some Motley Crue-isms as you travel? You know what I mean?
We take the music very serious when it's time to go on stage. We're just focused on those songs and just kicking ass. That's really what it comes down to. Of course, there's some partying going on, but the older you get doing this, the more you realize that how important it is to focus on the music, and your reputation is key factor.
To wrap it up, as I was saying before, this album is ridiculously strong. I really attribute that to the lineup you guys got right now. It's really, really strong, and there's been so many changes in the band over the years. Obviously, reality and how you feel can be two different things. But how do you feel? And I guess this is part of the reason why I think this is the right moment for the band to come back, and with the internet and so on. Does this lineup feel like a permanent band? Does this feel like a real unit? Finally, because I feel like Body Count was always sort of. Before it felt like Ice and some guests, and now this album feels like a group. It really does.
I feel like it is. Since I've been in this band, there were some other members that were in this band, but you gotta have the tighter musicians in this band to make this work. And this is a whole like a machine. Just getting it, especially on stage. I've never felt so much tighter now, with this current lineup, with the members in the band. It's been better shows, fun, like the shows have been fun. This is the most times really seeing Ice having fun during the shows. Yeah. So that's good. That's a good sign. That's a great sign, seeing that, seeing them happy. That's really good. So.
Yeah, I mean, first and foremost, we like to have fun. Got to keep it fun. If it's not fun, then it's just going to be miserable. So we're having fun on stage. We're having a lot of fun on this Rockstar Mayhem tour. So in the lineup, I mean, I'm very comfortable with it. I've been in a few groups prior to this, but this feels really comfortable, very comfortable.
Guys, I want to thank you so much for speaking to me today. Wish you the best of luck on your set, promoting the album, and I'll see you soon at Heavy Montreal one more time. And do you guys have any final words today?
No, just keep rocking and have fun at our shows, and like to meet everybody, man.
Check out bodycountband.com. Pick up the new record on Sumerian Records, Body Count Manslaughter.
For Alan Cross's A Journal of Musical Things, this is Andrew Epstein backstage at Rockstar Mayhem Fest with Body Count. We'll see you next time.
Talk shit!